Welcome to How to Study for a Math Test at Broward College. Studying for your math test starts long before the exam day. When doing your homework and classwork, practice good habits, like showing all of your work and don't skip steps. Be neat and organized when doing your problems. When doing classwork and homework, know what you don't know. This means self-evaluating and being honest with yourself if you understand the problem completely, and if you don't, ask for help. If you do not understand a problem in the homework after using the help prompts in the software, write it down or take a screenshot and bring your question to the math lab, or ask your professor before class or in their office hours. When doing classwork problems, be honest with yourself. If you do not understand how to solve the question, ask. You are probably not the only one with a question, but be the one with the courage to ask. A good way to figure out where things are going wrong is to do the following. Read, plan, do. Number 1, read the problem completely and find the keywords that help you remember the process to solve it. 2, plan. Do you know what the plan to solve the problem is and what are those steps? 3, do. Can you do those steps and get the answer right consistently? Maybe your problem is with some math concept you are not completely comfortable with, like sine numbers or FOIL, and it's not actually about this particular question. Get help right away if you don't understand a problem. The math lab on your campus provides free tutoring, and your professor has office hours to answer your questions. Find those hours on your class syllabus. Creating your own personal study guide is a great way to organize your thinking for the upcoming exam. What should go in my study guide? Well, that is up to you, as everyone's study guide will be a little different. Formulas you need to remember are a good start, as are steps to the problems you know will probably be on the exam. Include a reminder to yourself of things you typically forget. It's also helpful to do an example of a problem you find difficult. The idea of creating a study guide is to put all of the information you feel you need to know for the upcoming exam in one place, so you can continue to review it. Remember, to get stronger at math, you need to do problems. Think of it like going to the gym. If you watch somebody do squats, it helps you to get introduced to the proper technique. But watching someone do squats does not make you get stronger. The same with math. To get stronger, you need to do more than just watch. You need to do problems. Reviews. Your professor will probably provide a test review of some kind. What is the best way to use it? Complete the review guide showing all steps and be neat. If you need to refer to your notes at the beginning of your study process, that's okay. But it's very important that you attempt the review more than once and eventually be able to do the review without looking at your notes or your study guide. In other words, you should go through the review multiple times for practice, and make sure you use the calculator that you will be using for the exam if one is allowed. It is also helpful to time yourself to simulate the testing conditions so you don't run out of time on test day. When going through the study guide, remember our read, plan, do idea and find where your disconnect is on problems you're getting wrong. And get help from the math lab or your professor right away. Continue to update your study guide as you review. Study groups or study buddies are helpful to many students. If you are able to explain a problem to another student, it means you really understand the concept. Remember, cramming does not work. All the current research says that starting early and continuing to go over problems with breaks in between is the most effective way to study. But you can't do this if you wait until the last minute. This idea of spacing out your study over a few days will help reduce test anxiety. Math is a productive struggle, meaning you get problems wrong before you get them right. This process takes time, so start your exam studying early. On exam day, get a good night's sleep and eat before the exam. Review your study guide right before the exam, and when you get your scrap paper, immediately do a data dump of formulas, hints, problem steps from your study guide from your memory. Have a plan. When you receive the exam, do a quick read through and get a lay of the land. Do the questions you find easy first, and then do the harder problems and the ones you're not sure about. Make sure you show all steps. If partial credit is possible, you want to have as much work on your paper as you can. At the end, guess at anything you have not completed. Use all of the time allotted. Just because someone else leaves early does not mean you should. If you have extra time, review the exam and look at the problems again that you struggled on. Your mindset for this exam is of crucial importance. If you go into the exam saying you will do poorly and you can't do this, it'll probably be the case. A famous quote says, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Meaning, if you're going into the exam properly prepared and with a positive attitude, it will lower your stress and improve your chances of success. There will more than likely be some struggle along the way in this class. You will get problems wrong, but if you remember that getting problems wrong is part of the process, you will feel much better about yourself. Stay positive, work hard. You got this.